Hi there, welcome to my hobby bench. My name is Ken, and this is Terminator Tuesday. In today's episode, we're going to be going through stages 17, 18, 19, and 20. And here you can see the parts that we have that have come from Agora. Now, I want to say thanks to Todd, who is also known as Marvel Phoenix. I'll be following his build website, which is myterminatorT800.com. And you can feel free to follow along with him as well. So let me clear this up a bit and we'll get ready to start building. Alright, so here we are at stage 17. We have the top of the skull, and we have some screws that go with that, and then we're also going to be working with the wrist joints and the hand. So I did receive from Todd, he has these spare replacement wrist joints, in which you get two of them. And they will replace two of the ones you get in this pack, or sorry, one of these will replace one of the ones you get in the pack, one for each hand. So we'll take that and put that aside for the moment, and we'll begin working on the top of the skull. So we have our panel here, and then we're going to take our two side panels and we're going to be attaching them. So what I need to do is get my screws out. Like that. Now remember, we're going to have extra screws. They always give us some extras. So, just one more in here. There we go. Our top of our skull is metal, so we will be using some of our 3-in-1 oil with that. And we have the different screws. These ones here are more of a coarse bit. And these ones here are more of a fine bit. So let's take a look here and see what we need to do. Alright, so we're only going to be needing 4 of these screws and 3 of these screws. I've taken away one of each. I'll set these 3 aside because that's for the hand. And these 4 will be for the skull. So we're going to take our skull here and we're going to hold it like this. And then we're going to take our side of the head here, the right side of the skull, and that's going to be going into place right like that. So when we do that, you can see we have these 2 screw holes here that our screws are going to go through and into this metal piece. So we can put that in there like that. And again, I'm going to be using my PH00 screwdriver. And I'll set this up. I'll get a little 3-in-1 oil on the screw, just because it's going into metal. Oh. There we go. And just somewhat snugged it down. Grab another screw. Just one. Thank you. And again, we will now take this screw and insert it into this other screw hole. In theory, there we have it, going on in. Now I can give them a nice snug fit, making sure that it's tightened all the way. So there we go, that's the first step there. Next we're going to take our other side, our left side of the head, and we're going to do pretty much the same thing here. We'll be Taking this side here, fitting it in place like that. And then we got our screws again, which we will again use our 3-in-1 oil. Nice and snug. So there we have it. That's our skull, top and sides put together. So that's it for the beginning part of the skull. Next we'll move on to the hand. So at the hand we have 3 wrist joint balls. Now we're only going to need 2, thanks to Todd. I'll take this one out of here. You can see it's much larger. So we'll put one off to the side. Now they're just going to go into these. So we have our thumb here. They're going to go into these 3 holes here. So along the bumps, not the one that's off by itself. So what we have is 1 for each side. Let me see here now that it's got 2 flat sides. The rest of it's kind of rounded, so you got to make sure it goes in kind of only that direction. And then you can just take it. Now this is going through metal, but it's only going into plastic. So we don't need to put 3-in-1 oil on these. So I'll take the first one. Oops. Going in from the wrong side. That's better. Alright, so first one in. I'm just going to twist it on there a little bit and then just get that in place. Take my screwdriver, again a PH00. And then I can just screw that into place. Now you got to kind of keep some pressure down on this to kind of keep it in those grooves. There we go. That's one. Take our next one. Put a screw through. Just get it started. And then get our ball joint into place. Spin my fingers out of the way. Now we're going to replace this last one with, it does come with its own screw. So let's pull that out. Now it does look like it also has one of the brass fittings, a lot like what you'd see in the finger joints, what they give us. So let's see here. There we go. So I am going to take and use a little 3-in-1 oil, just to assist in screwing this screw into that metal sleeve. It's not really cutting into metal or anything, so I don't think you really need it that badly, but the way I look at it, it probably doesn't hurt. So we can put the screw through. There we go. Make sure we're not cross-threading, and then just screw it into place. There we have it. So that is stage 17. So as you can see, we've completed putting our ball joints on our wrist, and now we've also done the top and sides of the skull. So let's move on to stage 18. Alright, so here we are for stage 18. We have the motor for the eyes, as well as the support for it, and the screws to install it, as well as screws to attach the top of the or the front of the face to the bottom jaw area. So that's what we're going to be working on right now. So what we're going to do is we take our face mechanism here, and what we're going to do is we're going to attach our motor mount here. Now we have the two holes here which line up with these holes in this place here. So alright, so my discovery is that this tab down here does not need to go in behind this eye connector point here for the movements. It just needs to go on top of it to prevent this from popping off, I guess. So there we have it in place. I got one screw tightened in, and the other one can just be screwed into place as well. There we have it, just like that. Alright, the next step is to take our motor here for our eye movement. Now it's got a little tab here on the bottom, so that's going to go into this slot here to move the eyes. And to make sure we have this lined up with our holes, so we can use two more of these black screws just to screw that into place. Again, plastic to plastic, so we're going to be careful not to use too much force. Just nice and snug, like that. And again, as always, we have an extra screw left over, which is always a good thing, because that way if they do mess up, you'll still have, and they leave one screw out, you'll still have at least the right number of screws. And I do save all these extra screws and stuff just in case I lose one or I don't get enough. So there we have it. We have our motor secured in place, screws put in, and then we have our tab just into this little slot in here for the movement of the eyes. So that's it for that part of the stage. Alright, so now we're going to take the top part of our face here, and we're going to only be needing 3 of these 4 screws, so there I just removed one. And we have our 3 remaining holes in the roof of the mouth, so to speak. So 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to take our lower part of the head and the jaw, and we're going to take this and insert that just like that. So you can see those 3 holes line up down there. And this is metal. No, this is plastic down here. It's going through metal into plastic. So again, we don't really need our 3-in-1 oil. But I only need 1 screw, not 3, or not 2 at a time. So we'll just take this down through the jaw, or up through the jaw, and then just screw it into place. So I'll just snug it up to start with. Grab the next screw. Again, the holes are now lined up, so just easily put it in there, nice and snug. Not too snug yet. We're gonna do a final tightening once we have all 3 screws in place. I can actually start with this one. So I'll get it little snugger. And same over here. And the last third and final one. There we go. So now we have our face and lower jaw all connected. Just like that. So that is it. That's the sides and the top put together. Now it's going to get screwed together here in a bit, but not in this stage. But here you can kind of see a better look of what we have. So we have a Terminator head for the most part, still missing the rear and the inner components. But that's it for this stage. It's looking really good, so we'll now move on to stage 19. Alright, here we are in issue 19. In issue 19 we're going to be building the head motor. So we have the cog with the cog housing. We have a motor housing. We have the motor itself and several screws. We have 2 of these, one of which will be spare, and 6 of these other screws, which one will be spare. So, we had 3 of these screws, one of which was spare. So, let's get into this stage, or this issue. Alright, so starting off here, we're going to be dealing with our cog and cog housing. So we can take our cog and cog housing. You can see we have a pin on top here, and that's going to go into this center little hole right up here. And then we're going to be putting a couple of screws in here. This is just going to be our regular screws. So we can take 1 and 2, and again, plastic to plastic, no need for 3-in-1 oil. Again, just using a pH 00 screwdriver. Just start this off, and then we'll tighten it all up. There you go, nice and snug. So we put that aside. Now we can take our motor and our motor housing. And what we're going to do is we're going to pass our motor housing just over top of our motor like that. So this should be the inside, you should be able to see here. And then we can just take our 2 larger screws here. Oh, and we can insert them into place. Just like so. Nice and snug. Going into plastic. There we go. So we now have the motor housing in place like that. Next, we're going to take our 2 housings together, and we need to put these together. So let's see how this goes. There we go. So we have 3 screw holes on the outside here, 1, 2, and 3. And 3 here, 1, 2, and 3. So it should go together just like that with our 3 remaining screws. And here comes 3. So there we go. That is our head motor. Just like that. So that's it for issue 19. That's all we did, is put together this motor. So now let's move on to issue 20. So here we are in issue 20. In issue 20, we're going to be installing we're going to be assembling and mounting our head motor supports. So we have our two supports, left and right, and we have our motor housing and our screws. So we'll get the screws out of the bag here. So I did have to take the faceplate off right here, and obviously I took the top of the skull off as well. So you almost need something to hold this in to hold this upright, but will work otherwise. So we're going to start off taking our head here, and as you can see here, we have these three screw holes here, and our motor mount here, it has three screw holes there. So we can take this, put it into place, and then we can take, now this is going into metal, so we can use our 3-in-1 oil again. So we'll put that into place. Now we do have these longer screws here. And the rest of them are all the shorter screws. So it's going to be the shorter screws we're using because we only need 2 of the longer screws. So I'll get my screws ready to go. A little bit of 3-in-1 oil again. There we go. Got that one started. Here the 2 holes are lined up, so we can take our next screw into the 3-in-1 oil. Like that. And our last screw. All right, so I'll go around now and I will tighten these up the rest of the way. Make sure this is in place properly. And then we'll come back and move on to the next part. All right, looking at Todd's instructions, next we're going to take our motor here. You can see we have our mechanism here. And we're going to take the motor here, put it in its housing, and making sure this peg inserts through this loop right here. There we go, like that. Next, we can take our top of our housing and put that in place and insert 2 of our screws. Now these screws we're going to use here are the 6mm screws here, or the longer ones that are just going straight through plastic. There we go. Make sure you got the holes lined up. Let's start that one. Get the other one in place. Get that one started. It's gonna fight me. There we go. And we'll get that one in. We can go all the way to the bottom and then finish taking this one all the way to the bottom. There we go. Just like that. All right, next we're going to take our left-hand bracket. So this would be our left-hand bracket here. I'm just looking to see if it says anything on it. Not that I see, but according to Todd's diagram here, this part here should jut out to the left, and we have a little hole here, which this little peg, you can see right here, goes into. So and it looks like this screw hole is going to go over top of that one. And this plate is going to go back over top of there. So that's kind of the places we're lining it up. Like that. All right, so we have our left-hand bracket into place. The little pin is in this hole here. And actually, I had thought we put a screw through the front here. You don't, you come in through the rear. And then it should come flush out the front. And you can see it right there. Just like that. Then we take another screw here, and it's going to go in here in the rear of the skull. Now it is going into metal, so we will use a little 3-in-1 oil on our screw. I think I got the wrong screw here. Maybe. There we go. That's our bracket in place, just like that. All right, so now we'll move around to the other side here. Doing much the same. I'm just gonna keep these wires all fed over to this side for now, just to kind of keep them out of the way. I'll leave this eye one on this side for now until we figure out where they're all going to go. So again, we're going to take our bracket. We have our little hole here for this pin. So we're going to put that pin in there. Like that. Take our screw, and because it's going into metal, a little 3-in-1 oil. And there we go. Again, we can see it just coming to the surface here, just like that. And then we do our other screw here. And again, going into metal, so I will go again with the 3-in-1 oil. Oh. All right, there we have it. This one here doesn't seem to want to go in all the way. A little bit of a gap. As this one seems to be going in, so it's flush. Let's see what I can figure out. All right, so I've taken a look, and it is a hole that goes all the way through. So I don't know if it's if something's burred or something in there that is preventing the screw from going in any further. I've tried multiple different screws. I've even tried going through there with a little file just to see if anything's getting in the way, and you can actually see the hole where it should be coming through, just down in here. But that's what it is for now. We'll see if in the future if that causes issues. If it does, I'll address it then. If it doesn't cause any issues, then I'll be fine to just leave it as is. So that's going to be it for issue 20. You can see we've got the motors in the head now, and we're moving along with the whole mechanism. So that's it for the episode today. Thank you very much for joining me. And if you like what you see, feel free to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon if you want to get notified of any new videos that come up. And we'll see you next time. Take care, and bye for now.